Hi friends, welcome to Shopping with Allie. I am Allison and I just want to say a big thank you for supporting my small business and shopping with me. You are the heart of my business and I just want to say thank you so much for everything. So today we are going to work on an embroidery kit, and you can purchase these on the website at shoppingwithallie.com, and I am going to teach you how. So my great-grandmother Thelma, she taught me when I was a child, and we embroidered pillowcases and tea towels. So I would love to pass that on to you. We're in a very strange season of life, and some of us are given a little bit more time at home, and it's nice to sometimes be off of social media and disconnect, but have something to do and keep our hands busy and feel productive and do something that makes us happy. So I am so excited to share this with you and teach you all how to embroider. So let's go over your kit, and then once we do that, I'm just going to walk you through step by step what you need to do to complete it. So within your kit, it is going to include your cotton fabric, and they have already applied the transfer to your fabric. It includes your embroidery needle, and then you're going to have a bamboo quilting hoop that fits perfectly around our design. I'll teach you how to put that on. It includes these amazing little scissors. And then we have our embroidery floss and the different colors of embroidery floss. So the beauty of this is you get to design it however you want, given the colors that they have given. You get to pick and choose how you want this look to be. So there's two green, a brown, a black, and then this gorgeous like lavender, dusty lavender color. So it is going to be adorable and a great wall hanging. So first off, you're going to take your embroidery hoop and loosen the screw on it, and then you'll have two pieces. This one goes on the top, this goes on the back. So you're going to take your fabric, lay it over top, and you kind of want to center your design on here. And then you're going to take your top and place it over and stretch it out over. If you need to unscrew it more, you can. If you don't, then great, but you wanna make sure your fabric is taut over the hoop. And as you begin to stitch, you may have to tighten it back up, your fabric back up. So you just kind of stretch your fabric over it. Over those edges, pull it taut, and then you can just tighten it back up around the edges. And then we are set to go. That is all that you really have to do. When you are complete, then you can cut off the edge of this, and then it's your wall hanging. So, and I don't know about some of you, but I would probably end up painting my quilting hoop before I get started. You see how it has some blue metal on it? You can go ahead and paint these, make them super cute. You can even do it afterwards. Get it done, figure out what you want to do, paint it, and then put it back together, trim your edges, and then hang it. So also a side note is the lines on here are washable. So you can remove those. If you decide to wash it, just know that your fabric is 100% cotton, and so it could shrink. So I would encourage you to hand wash and line dry is what I would encourage you to do. So we are going to start off. I am going to start off on the pot. I think I'm going to do this like lavender, dusty lavender color. So I don't believe it says on here how many pieces of floss. So we are going to make our own decisions. My grandmother had me always do two pieces of thread when I was working. You want enough thread that you can control and not knot up. So that's about the length that I will use. You're gonna double up your thread. So that's about what I can control there. Yours might be shorter as you're starting. If you've never embroidered before, you might want to, what's going on here? Oh, my scissors were on the wrong side. There we go. There we go. So my scissors, they were popped on the opposite side. So I just had to pop them in. So if your kit and the scissors don't seem to be working, just take them out, take them apart and kind of pop them back together on the right side. So once you are cut, you're going to stretch out your fabric by length. Then you can kind of pull apart your threads. Do you see how you can pull apart those threads? There are 6 threads in every single one. I'm gonna separate 2 and 4, okay? So this, if I just pull quickly, I'm gonna get a knot. So there are several different tricks of how you can do this, but what I like to do is I kind of begin pulling it apart. Do you see how it kind of like ravels and then pulls back up? So I like to run my thumb through it, and then I'll kind of relax it and let all that slack kind of wind out. Same here. And then let's see here, gonna continue down. Do you see how it kind of ravels there? Let the slack out so I don't get a knot. The goal is to not get a knot in this. And then I'm just gonna kind of keep working, separating those threads all the way down, okay? So then I can reuse this 3 times because there's 2 more sets of 2 within here. So let's get going. So I have my 2 strands here. And then I'm gonna take my needle. It is blunt. It's a blunt needle. It has a little tiny bit of a point, but it's pretty blunt, unlike a quilting needle or a sewing needle, okay? So if you have beeswax is a great option to run beeswax down your thread. It keeps your threads together and then they don't knot quite so bad. If you don't have beeswax, don't worry about it. I'm not going to use any with beeswax. I'm going to thread my needle, both threads through. Well, both threads, not one. Let's see here. There we go. There they go. Okay, thread your needle. I'm going to lay my needle down in my lap. I'm gonna take the ends of both, then straighten it out. No, you don't want any lumps or bumps and loops or anything because you don't want any other knots than the one you're gonna create. So you're gonna pinch the end with your thumb and your pointer and then wrap it around, okay? And then what I like to do is I roll it off and then I pull that end through. You see how I have a loop there? Okay, that is gonna be my knot. There's another way, loop it. Debbie just taught me this. Loop it through, okay? Then you're gonna take your needle, go from the arm side underneath your threads. You see how I'm underneath my threads? Hold on to the end, and then see how you can pull that? Okay, so there are 2 different ways to get a knot. You are welcome to trim the end of that. You just don't want to get too close to your knot. Leave a little bit excess. I don't know if you can see that very well, but leave a little bit of excess. So there we go. We are ready to get started. This is a pretty simple process, but it might take a little bit of practice on these guys. Okay, so you're always gonna start on the back side of your fabric. I like to start in a corner. So I'm gonna start in this top corner and I'm gonna push it through. One tip I wanna give you to know where your needle's at so you're not like looking on the back, looking on the front. One tip you can do is you can drag your needle. Do you see where my needle point is? Okay, so you can drag your needle along those edges to know exactly where you're at on the back. So that's my biggest tip for following. So I'm gonna start in this corner. I'm gonna push it up through the back, pull the fabric, or pull the floss through. Okay, we're gonna do our first stitch and I am gonna do one forward stitch and then I will back stitch the rest. So I am going to make one small stitch. This is the first time doing this video. So one small stitch down and I'm going to pull it then on the back and I'm going to make sure not to catch my knot there. Okay, so I have made one stitch. Okay, now that is called a forward stitch. The rest of the time we're gonna do a back stitch, all right? So I'm going to drag my needle. I'm going to jump and skip a stitch and push up through the back, pull taut, not tight, but taut, and then I am going to go back down in the same hole as my previous stitch so that I get one continuous line. Now I'm gonna gently pull this through so it doesn't knot. Do you see how I made one continuous stitch there? Okay, then I'm going to skip again. Okay, pull it, whoops, that's a little bit too wide. I'm gonna skip, pull it through on the front, and then I'm going to line it up in the previous thread, and then pull it through gently, not too fast so that I don't get any knots. See? That's all that you do is backstitch. Okay, so we're gonna do a couple more and kind of get through here a little bit so I can show you. So go ahead and just keep doing your back stitch. So skip a stitch, come up, and then go back down in the hole of your last stitch, and then pull it through. We're gonna go up, pull it through, push back down in the last stitch, skip, up, back down in the last stitch, pull it through. Okay, we're gonna kind of keep going here a little bit with this. So this is something I love to do when I'm watching TV or listening to a podcast, or even if I just need like some quiet time. This is actually really relaxing to me. There's something about it. Remember, if you can't find your spot, drag that needle. Okay, drag that needle. This is just something that is very mindless in a healthy way, in my opinion. I taught it to my kids, and honestly, it keeps their hands busy without needing electronics. And likewise for me, like, I don't know about you, but all the negativity on social media, regardless of what your stance is on anything, there is so much stress in our life right now that having some like self-care time for myself is so important. Okay, so I wanna show you, I am now at that first line here. I'm gonna show you going across. You can change your color and do the whole outline and do your lines different colors. I'm just gonna show you one across the top because I wanna show you how to do a corner. Okay, so do you see how I'm at the top of that line? I'm now just gonna skip over here, push through there, and then I'm gonna drop back and make a little L shape. Stitch there, do you see that? And then I can work my way over. I'm gonna go back down in that one. Do you see how I can now work my way over? Okay, so that is how you do it. One thing I want to mention to you is we have white fabric and a darker thread. If I were to jump, let's say I want to jump all the way up here. I'm gonna jump. You can sometimes see that thread on the back side. So I would encourage you not to jump. Not jump. I'm gonna go back through that same hole, pull it back through. You see how I'm back to where I was, and I can now just keep going here. Let me show you how to tie off, okay? We're gonna get our thread on the back, okay? Pull it taut through. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna run your needle under a couple of the threads on the back, okay? Under the threads on the back. Then you're gonna pull it through almost all the way until you have a loop. Do you see? Do you see how I have a loop? Then I'm gonna run my needle through that loop and make a knot, and then I can trim it, okay? I can continue to reuse this thread, or I can then switch threads. So we got us started there, and see how it's not perfect? I was talking and doing it, so my stitches aren't perfect, but I think that's part of what gives it character, is that it is handmade by me. It has character. It gives me something peaceful to do. So couple of tidbits along the way is if you get a knot, it is okay to knot it off on the back and start fresh. You don't have to, every single time you get a knot, like work it out. Like sometimes it's easier to just clip it, knot it, and move on, start again. So that is one tidbit of information. The other thing is you wanna make sure not to go all the way down to your needle with thread. So I'm gonna go ahead and thread mine again and show you about how far we go. So we're just gonna kind of chit chat. This one I'm actually, because I'm using the same color, I'm actually gonna back stitch this one. So I'm gonna come up and go back on this one. I'm actually not gonna do a forward stitch. And then I'm just gonna keep going around here because I wanna show you about how far you wanna get with your threads. Let's see here. There's something about acoustic music. I don't know if you can hear this acoustic music, but acoustic music is so relaxing to me. Absolutely love it. I have like acoustic covers on and oh, just relaxes me so very much. A little bit of self-care, right, my friends? Self-care is what we all need in this crazy season of life. Alrighty. Let's see. So I have several different types of embroidery, or several different patterns. We have a cacti, we have this succulent, and then we have 2 house plants as well. They're all very, very cute. Different feel. You can purchase all of them together or separately, and then you can hang them all at one location and make a cute display out of them. You can even trim them and frame them, would be really cute. If you take glass out of a picture frame and then just frame these and set them in a cute little spot, add a little plant to add some life to your area. Oops, I got a little bit of a, so my thread, I don't know if you can see that, but it is uneven. So I'm going to kind of stretch it out and re-even it back up, okay? And then I'm just gonna keep going here. I also have these in little animals as well. And so I have a cute llama and hedgehog. So they're very, very cute. My girls and even my boys actually all really enjoy doing this. And so I decided to bring on a couple kids ones as well. Although the hedgehog is so cute, I think all of us as adults want to do it as well because it's so adorable. The other thing, if you are creative and love to draw, you can draw out your own and then embroider them as well. So there's just, the possibilities are endless. These are great gifts for those that your kids are home this fall and prepping for Christmas. Have your kids put these on t-shirts for family members, have them draw the picture and then embroider it on a t-shirt for grandparents or on a tea towel and a dish towel for them for their kitchen or a pot holder. There's all different sorts of things that you can do. Pillowcases are really fun because they're not like a focal point, but there's something that's very functional to use and the style and color doesn't matter. I don't know if you're like me, but style and color really matter. So like a tea towel for me, I would want it to coordinate with my house. Like I would totally use one of these, but I wouldn't necessarily use like one of my boys is drawing one that is Star Wars. And so I wouldn't necessarily want to put it in my kitchen, would I? Yes, because it's my children, but it's not 100% my style. All right, so I'm gonna show you here. I'm getting to the end of my thread. That's about as far as I want to go because then I can easily make my loop in the back and then I can easily get my needle back through. Sometimes if you go too close, you cannot do it. You cannot knot it easily. So if you get to that point, just want to show you, if you get to that point, trim your threads, pull them apart, and then knot it. So knot it like you would a double knot on a tennis shoe. Okay, so that is just, oh, I guess you can't see this. You can just knot it and then trim it, and you're good to go. So if you have any troubles with this at all, my friend, I am here. I'm here to coach you through it and help you through it. If you need to send me pictures, if you want to video chat, I am here to help you. I want this to be a relaxing project, not a frustrating one. So don't let it frustrate you. If it's frustrating you, put it down and walk away. Let it be relaxing. So I look forward to seeing your projects. Please tag me. Show me your beautiful work and what you're doing to care for yourselves. So friends, have a great and lovely day, and good luck, my friend.